Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On
the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
The meeting will please come to order. We do have to be posted in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. Any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 5 minutes to address the court. Mr. Morgan.
Yes, Grant, appreciate you letting me speak today, commissioners. Good morning. First thing I like to do is give a little bit of my background, because most people don't know where I came from to get here. Also, we have a new railroad commissioner. And I'll be trying to contact him. I've got a letter written now sent to him. I'm a professional engineer of 50 years experience. I've done $3 billion worth of construction around the world for the Air Force in Saudi Arabia and Thailand, 40 M-52s, and rebuilt those facilities within 1 year. I had 3 captains working for me, and myself and Leon, and we had those 4 Air Force bases completed in that 1 year. People at headquarters Air Force says, "How did you do that so fast?" I said, "Sir, we did our jobs." Anyway, it was a real good experience. I had a good time, and I came back to Texas and went to work with the prison system, and I was responsible for all the environmental work. It was all a mess. It was correct out completed in 3 years, and then we built 4 prisons in Texas, and I was in charge of all that. North Texas, South Texas, around. So I've got some pretty good experience in handling various issues. And so and having this issue about the pollution in this county, and I went to court on concerning Big Brown. I was a major factor and responsible for not getting that new permit for Big Brown 3 and 5 other permits for other facilities. And then Big Brown 1 and 2 was responsible for having a big part in getting posts taken down, because they were putting out 92,000 tons of sulfur dioxide in our county alone. And so this new commissioner, Jim Wright, from South Texas, he's a rancher, and I guess 4 generations of ranching, and there's a rodeo circuit and all that stuff. And he says he's concerned about the safety around the oil and gas facilities. Myself and 2 others in the Citizens for Environmental Cleanup, which is the environmental group I established here in Freestone County. We had 46 members. Anyway, 2 of them went with me to Austin and talked to a lot of senators and representatives about the problems we had here in Freestone County. And I finally got to meet with Mr. Cook. On our way over there, I finally got a phone call from him saying he'd meet with us. I said, "You're on my schedule now. I'm filled up to 3:30. And we finally got to meet with him, and an oil and gas person in his office, and he would not do anything for us. So I'm hoping that Mr. Wright will do a good job with the Railroad Commission, and say I have this letter here to send to him to get his attention. Anyway, when we came back from that visit in Austin, within 3 weeks, 2 of us were dead. They tried to kill me, but I managed to escape. There was 145 decibels of noise on my back porch. That's the weapons level. In my bedroom was 123 decibels. By the time I jumped out of bed, I knew what was happening. I took my blood pressure, was 214 over 112. I took a blood pressure reading, a noise reading, and grabbed my clothes, and I was going down my driveway within 10 minutes. I managed to escape. And I've been doing that for 10 years. I'm tired of it. So I'm going to do those January. They're trying to kill me again. I go to the hospital in Palestine under the canopy trying to get a safe place. And it was so bad I had to park my car in the emergency room place. I went in the emergency room. And when I came out, I could not talk. I could hardly understand me. I could hardly walk. I'm still here. And I'm still fighting. And I'll keep on fighting.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Is there anyone else? If not, let's go to item number 1, which is to approve the minutes of the May 5th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 2 is budget transfers and amendments. There are, let's see. As we're looking at this, we have number 9, which is to reclassify items to pay the Huffman Communications for the radio tower service. This is a transfer. And to transfer some money to purchase now the one we're purchasing is not a rubber boat, is it?
It is.
It is, but it's a different kind of a rubber, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to talk just a little bit about that?
Oh, yes, ma'am, sure. So the boat that the water rescue team has now is an Inmar one rescue boat. It's a great boat. It has a 3 to 5 year shelf life. It deflates, it doesn't hold the air, and it has a 30 horsepower motor on it. The boat that we've requested is a Zodiac. Zodiac is the top brand of water rescue boats on the market. It's what all of the teams that we train with, Dallas Fire, Austin Fire, Texas Task Force 1, it's what they have. It has a much longer shelf life. It performs a lot better. It has a 40 horsepower tiller steer motor on it, and so that's what we've requested. It has, like I said, a lot more power. Back in June of last year, July of last year, Sheriff Shipley, myself, one other water rescue member, and the victim that we had went and recovered, when we were coming back upstream, the boat didn't have enough power to get upstream, so we were having to get out and push it at points. So we feel that this boat would better suit us for our needs. So the quotes that were provided is, it's 2 quotes. One is the boat itself without the motor, and the second quote is for that motor. The motor has a 6-month lead time right now due to the COVID and supply chain disruptions. So,
But we're going to go ahead and get the boat now.
yes, ma'am.
And then I guess you'll have to paddle until 9 months until
That's all right. It'll probably be a good exercise for us. I think we probably use it. So,
All right.
What's in capital outlay, what's in capital outlay?
We're moving it from capital outlay.
From contingency to capital outlay.
Yeah, from
That's
contingency.
what
Yes. And the motor. And if it doesn't come until next budget time, then we'll have to budget for
that's
that.
boat and motor.
Yes.
26,000.
yes.
But that way, if the motor come in after the next budget, it would already be paid for out of that.
No, we'll just have to pay for it when it comes in. We can't pay for it before it comes in. If it comes in within this budget year, we have the money transferred for it already to pay for it. And if it doesn't, we'll budget for it in the next budget. But, and you still have the other one that you can use.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it'll be a backup.
Yes, ma'am. It'll be a spare.
I'll make a motion, budget transfers and,
All in favor, aye. Thank you. Item number 3 is to approve and pay the bills. We're glad for y'all to stay if you want to. If you need to go, we won't take offense to that.
Thank you so much. We appreciate y'all's support.
But we're certainly glad for you to stay. I'm not rushing you off, but I
No,
know
no.
y'all are busy and
No, I've got to
being
get to work.
volunteers, you know.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, yeah. Looks like we have some distinguished guests in the back. I think they all probably know Russell and Tim from Hotspot. They're gonna talk this, and after we do the bills, we'll just go on down to your item. Are y'all reviewing your bills? I know you'd rather me wait longer, so you'll be here till close to lunch, so you can eat at Sam's and have pie.
That's true.
But,
It's always a good time for pie.
yes,
If you're.
yes.
I'll just take a break a bit.
Yeah, well, I'm talking
Yes,
about.
sir. Coffee with.
Let's do their,
Oh,
agenda item, and then we'll talk about going and getting pie.
I make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carries. If it's agreeable, let's go down to, let's see, number 14, to consider an application for memorandum of agreement between FEMA and the Collaborative Operating Group for access to, did you say IPAWS or IPAWS?
Pause as well.
IPAWS open by inoperable software system. And I will tell you that they each have asked me, what in the world is that? So Tim, if you'll fill us in, we'd be glad to hear it. Y'all come up to the front.
We brought you a few gifts too. And this is called iPaws.
Let's wait on that.
We expect that it'll rain again.
Thanks, Bill.
Great, thank you. Thank you. We'll talk about that, and then you can give us a little update on anything else that y'all want to talk about.
Thanks, sir.
And I'm glad the sheriff's here, I'll let you go ahead, Tim. Thank you. Tim is our emergency management.
Yes, so my name's Tim Jeske, as Judge Grant mentioned. I'm the Homeland Security Manager, Criminal Justice Manager for the Council of Governments. Work for Russell here, and we just wanted to explain a little bit about what IPAWS is and how the emergency notification system works for our region and here in Freestone County. So what's before you today is a interlocal agreement with FEMA for IPAWS, and it's basically an add-on to our existing emergency notification system that we've operated in this region for the past decade. This allows us to, the last time we had a tornado come through here, you may have gotten a message on your phone from the National Weather Service that said, tornado warning, seek shelter. It's that capability, but we're going to be able to use that at the local level. So if the sheriff has something going on out in the county, we would be able to send a message similar to that, especially here in this community with 45. So many visitors and people are passing through that aren't local. And so this allows the county, the sheriff, the county judge, the emergency manager, to be able to send messages and hit every cell phone on specific towers in parts of the county. So if there was an accident on 45 where it was chemicals involved and we needed people to shelter in place, we could send a message out to anyone regardless of where they live and whether or not they're a Freestone County resident, to let them know, hey, shelter in place, there's an incident going on. So a really neat upgrade to what we can currently do. It's already, so the system's at no cost to the county. This is at no cost to the county. This is really a formality because we have to get approval from FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security to be able to use that portion of the system. And so that agreement, what y'all have in front of you is basically requesting from the federal government access to that. And then from there, the Council of Governments will do the administration and kind of work the back end to get everything connected and plugged in so that way we could use it for you guys.
So am I understanding that you don't have to sign up for this system, you don't have to register through that to be able to get this on your cell phone?
So what y'all have in front of you today, yes, we could regardless if you're signed up or not, okay, we could send messages right now and hit, well, if it was in effect right now, and hit every cell phone, regardless if they're signed up or not. Now, the caveat to that is the regular system, what we'll call a regular system, what we currently have in place, we ask people to sign up for. And the reason why is we can use it for boil water notices, we can use it for different things that are maybe public health related. For example, Leon County used it for part of their vaccination to try to send out messages, say, hey, vaccines at the high school, that kind of thing. We have more latitude and flexibility on what we use the regular system for, whereas the iPause is federally controlled, and so only certain messages like tornado warnings or missile attacks, that's really what the system was designed for.
Let's not worry about the missile attacks.
Yeah, that's an example. That'd be an example, out of FEMA's workbook. It's for those critical life safety affects everybody. There's a very narrow scope of what we can use iPause for, whereas the regular system we ask people to sign up for.
And that you would be signing up, actually,
Right.
going into the website,
Right.
and then talk about this little scan
So
thing.
what I gave you guys here, it's severe weather season, so we ask the question, are you ready, right? Severe thunderstorms, we're not unfamiliar with those. And so we ask people to sign up because with our regular system, you scan the QR code here. If a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, the system that y'all have, it can send you a message saying, hey, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for your house. Check local media. Tornado warnings, flash flood warnings. You have the ability through this system to basically put a weather radio in your pocket through your cell phone through this system. It's completely free to sign up. All you have to do is scan the QR code, fill out the form, we'll get you registered in. And like I said, it's really handy for those events where, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and the storms are moving in from the west and there happens to be a little tornado in it and you're sleeping and you never knew about it. You wake up and you're like, oh yeah, there's a tornado warning last night. Who knew? Well, this is a way to turn this into a weather radio so your phone goes off so you get that message and you can wake up your kids and get in the closet or do what you need to do. So, completely free. All you have to do is, like I said, sign up, scan the QR code. That's a big thing for us, is trying to get the messaging out there, trying to get people signed up for this system. And so, the iPause is an addition to, it can cover everybody, but we really need to, if we can, get people to sign up locally, because those are the people that we're going to really try to target with boil water notices, missing children, those kind of things. That's what this system is really good for.
Now, as for the weather part, we don't have to have someone go into and put that notice on. It automatically does it.
Absolutely, that's a great point, Judge. So it's an automated system. We were able to, about 3 years ago, get the system automated. So what you'll find is if you sign up for this, and I hope everyone already has, but if you haven't, when a tornado warning is issued for yours, it's geolocated to your house, you put in your address. When that warning is issued by the National Weather Service in Fort Worth, they draw a box for the warning area. If your house is in that box, what you'll find is our system averages about a minute faster than what you're going to find it actually coming across the radio and the TV, because it's automated, as Judge Grant mentioned. And so it's
but you
all...
have to be signed up in order to get it.
Exactly right.
And the reason I want to be real clear about that is a lot of people watch the YouTube, watch on YouTube what we're talking about here. So hopefully it'll reach more people. But we've been talking about this for a long time.
We have.
People signing up. And so Jeannie had asked for that to be on there because it'd be a little easier for people to go on and take their phone and
Just scan it, yeah.
sync right in with it, and then you're set up. So that was great.
If your cell phone service is iffy in a rural area, it's
Yes,
not gonna help at all.
It's just iffy.
No, yeah, and that's just like anything else, right? We have technology limitations, and so if you live in an area that doesn't have good cell phone service, your cell phone may or may not work. But I would still sign up for it because it may work, and the time it does work could be the time that tornado's coming towards your house. And that's what's really cool about this is, if the tornado warning is on the north end of the county and you live in the south end of the county, it's not going to bother you with it because you're on the other end of the county. It's targeted specifically for the people that are in those areas with the information that they need to keep their family safe. And that's really the ultimate goal here. It's a way to keep your family safe, to know what's coming, but it's also a tool for the county and the sheriff. We've used the system several times in the past decade for missing children, folks that are elderly that have wandered off. You know, what better way to say, hey, we're looking for a 3-year-old wearing a pink shirt than to call everybody at once saying, hey, if y'all see a 3-year-old in a pink shirt, call the sheriff's office immediately. And we can get that message out in 5 minutes. We can tell everybody in the county in 5 minutes, we're looking for a toddler in a pink shirt. Whereas without it, it's word of mouth, it's Facebook, and by then it's, you know, I think it was a 13-year-old wearing a blue shirt, and your message gets, you know, distorted and things like that. So huge asset for the community, for public safety. That's available to use, but we got to get people signed up, and that's really the key for success.
Jenny, could I ask you to take one of these to the newspaper? Sure. See if they'll do a little article? Sure. And see if we can
And
get
something else that I just wanted to add to that was too, I'm signed up for it, and just, you don't get, like, when you get those notices, that's all you get. So it's not like you're signing up for something that people are spamming you or.
This
anything
information
like that.
is not sold, it is secure information, it is only for what you sign up for. For you commissioners, where it could also be a benefit, let's say you have a storm comes through, blows out a bridge, right, and it's just in your precinct. It can be targeted to the fact that the people look at his bridge to blow out. But you know, if the bridge blows out, you can send that message directly to those individuals that live on that road. That would be immediate, or you can set your message up for a broader scale, or down to 2 houses or 3 houses. It's a very integrated system, and a lot of that, I want to give you a little bit of an update. Is we now in our area have what's called Next Gen 911. The way 911 initially started out, you had 2 copper wires in your house that went to your telephone, and when you picked up that telephone, they knew where you were calling from because it was wired in. Today, not a lot of people have home phones anymore. It's all cell phone. The technology's changed. We were the first rural cog in the state to be able to migrate fully to Next Gen 911, and where that helps is in the event that you're having a heart attack and you fall down and you hit 911 on your phone, we can put that phone within 3 feet of where you're laying. And you know, the big cities have had that for years, and it's become important. Hill County, Judge Lewis will tell you the story. They had a situation before it was all transitioned. They had a parent go out, he was in a psychotic episode, took his kids with him, they were running through a cornfield. He thought the aliens were coming to get him. His girl made a noise in the cornfield, turned around with a 12-gauge, shot his daughter. He immediately dialed 911, and because it was an old system, the Hill County Police Station was like 500 yards away from him, but the phone skipped to Bosque County to Meridian, and they had to work to call back to figure out where it was, and the little girl passed away by that point in time. Because what a lot of people didn't realize, if you have AT&T and you dial 911, it goes to the next AT&T tower, not the postal cell phone tower, your service tower. Well, Next Gen 911 did away with that. When you hit it, it's automatically registered, and they will triangulate that signal and go back. And the technology has really improved. It went to text to 911. You can now text 911 instead of calling, and it's very remarkable what it can do. But it's all secure and private as well. The ENS, as we said, when you sign up for the ENS, that goes into a secure system. That information is not shared, sold, or distributed in any way, so it's definitely private, and it's to you. You know, we have hailstorms. I'm kind of an old car guy, so I like my cars. You know, it's nice to get a warning saying you've got a hailstorm coming to your house in 5 minutes, that you get out and throw a quilt over it, or you can at least be prepared. And as Tim said, it is faster than what you'll normally get. A minute is in a disaster is a long time. And so, you know, the COG, we have a lot of programs that we work with y'all out here. Judge Grant is the president of the board this year, and we're very blessed to have her, and we're here to help y'all in any way we can, so don't hesitate to reach out and call us if you have a need.
Anything else that y'all want to share with us this morning?
Piggybacking on what Russell said about, especially the commissioners, I know when I was in Bosque, sometimes you have to take a county road and redo it and things like that. And it's an inconvenience for people. We used to use this system because that's a matter of public safety, to call them in advance, a couple of days in advance, and say, hey, this is Commissioner, Precinct 1, beginning Wednesday, we're going to start working on your road, so please understand that there's going to be traffic delays and things like that. So the system can be used for that because it's important that they know that they may have to take the long way home and stuff like that. So it can be used outside of the context of a missing toddler if it's related to the safety and the health of residents.
And we have used that sometimes
So,
for those purposes, and it's, like you said, it's free, and we need to use it in any way that we can.
yes, ma'am.
Anything else? I know y'all know a lot
Is there
of
anything,
stuff.
is there anything else that you'd like to ask us about the system? Okay.
Generally, you have, talk about the process of getting something put on the system. Update us on that.
So-
If you need to do a call out.
So if we need to do a call out,
Commissioners do.
you can contact us at the office, the Heart of Texas Council of Governments. You can give us a call. We're happy to set that off for you. We do have users here local, so the sheriff's dispatchers have been trained. They have logins. I know, Judge Grant, we've worked with your office in the past. And so we're available as a resource at the Council of Governments. 24 hours a day, you can call me on my cell phone and wake me up if I'm sleeping, and we can send it when we have capability of doing that. There's also 24-hour support through the Everbridge is the company that we contract with. They can also help you with that. And the process, we really need to know who you need to send it to and what you need to tell them. And then from there, it's really about 4 steps. We select, who we're sending it to, what you want to tell them. Go down to the bottom, there's some settings. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to try to call people. We just want to send them text messages, so we can select how we're going to send the message out. We hit send, and it takes about 30 seconds for it to get from the computer in Fairfield up to the Everbridge Corporation, and then out to AT&T, Verizon, and everyone else, and we start seeing the message delivered.
And the one that we did when I called you, I wasn't exactly sure what kind of language we needed to put in it, but Kim researched it, got it all done, and sent it out for me, so
Yep.
it was, yeah, I appreciated that.
It's our pleasure to do that. We're happy to do that anytime. Just give us a call, and that's what we're here for. We're here to work for you guys.
On this right here, we want to get people, encourage people to sign up for. Is it ENS, is that the name?
That's
Yeah.
emergency notification system.
Okay.
In government, we all use acronyms all the time, which is always a little dangerous, but that's the emergency
Just didn't say
notification
on there.
system.
Right, and we, in the article, I'm sure that you'll put
Identify.
how to call in and the particulars of how to get this done. But they may want to use this, that catch people's attention, but whatever you want to put in, Jeannie, so that they can do it. would be
The
great.
beauty of the ENS, especially in storm alerts, and, I'm older, I remember the tornado sirens, and everybody knew what the civil service blasts were, and, one blast meant one thing, 2 meant something else, 3 meant something else.
But we lived out in the
The-
country,
the
we didn't get
tech-
those.
you
don't get them. And the tech, but even the technology and our lifestyle has changed. Everybody's got air conditioning in their house now, the doors are always closed. You may or may not hear that siren go off. And from an emergency management system, sirens, that's 1950s civil defense systems that are just outdated and are not used anymore. This has the ability that you're sitting in your house, the windows are closed, you've got the TV on, your phone rings, and that message comes across. It really gets back to the people that need the message.
And one thing that we found helpful, sometimes you may have an elderly parent still living here. You don't have, if say their son or daughter lives in Houston, and they want to know, how's the weather going back at mom's house, they can put their Houston phone number in as well. So if there's a tornado warning or something issued here in Fairfield, they'll get the call in Houston. That way they know, hey, you can call and check on mom real fast, or check on dad real fast, or whoever. So you can use numbers from anywhere, but put the location here in Fairfield and know what's going on anywhere in Freestone County that way. Been helpful.
Well, and we do need people to sign up.
We do.
It's it's an important service that people can benefit at no cost, and all it takes is a minute to sign up.
And it's
I
private and
think this is much
secure.
easier to sign up with
Right.
than it has been, so appreciate you doing that. Yeah. All right, even if there's something off of this subject, is there anything y'all want to tell us? Other than sending money, that's always good.
That's always a good one.
Yes. Mhm.
But things are going well, you know. Tim has turned around and walked away from me, but the ENS, the Homeland Security stuff is going very well. I think our rural transportation programs are doing well, the senior nutrition programs are going well, so overall, everything in the COG is really in good shape, and we're waiting to see what some of the new federal money, when this COVID money comes down, how that can be distributed back to you, and how y'all can use it. I know a lot of the counties around have already gotten some of their COVID money, and you can use that to supplant your budgets. I know that the legislature's in session, so we're always worried about that when that happens.
I'm telling you.
And HB3 is gonna pass, and that's gonna be a bad day for cities and counties, because they'll limit your ability to communicate with your state and federal elected officials. You know, you can't use lobbying actions or different firms, you know, TAC, TART, TML are all gonna be adversely affected by HB3.
And, you know, when you hear lobbying, that sounds like it's something that's way out of the realm of what we would use. But they consider the service that TAC provides to us about bills that are being considered that might affect counties, and they send that information out to us. They won't be able, I don't know how they're gonna work with that.
They consider, under lobbying, if you get in your county vehicle and you drive to Austin to go talk to your state representative, and you've expended county funds to go down there, they consider that lobbying. And I mean, I think it's our right as citizens to be able to address your state legislators and your state senators, and they're restricting your ability to do that. And like I said, TAC, TML, those agencies all work on your behalf. And they are there 24/7. They're watching how that legislation tracks, and they monitor it. But when you take those out of the way the system works, it really, really diminishes the information that you get to work with. And we're in the last 10 days.
They don't want us to really understand what's going on, what they're doing.
Well, it's kind of like right now, redistricting's going on. They're recutting everybody's lines. You hadn't heard of Article 1 about redistricting, and that happens once a decade. I mean,
And the census is not even in yet, is it?
no,
I think they're expecting it probably in September, is the last that I heard.
yeah. And I mean, you know, this is something that's gonna affect you for the next decade. And, you know, they've already announced that, you know, Texas is gonna get more congressmen. And like I said, all the information is not in yet, but they're already drawing up the lines without any of your local input. You know, I think it's crazy, I'm a school board member also, okay? So it's always crazy that they say, we want a local control, we want the local input. Then when you offer it to them, oh, no, you can't do that. As a school board member, and I understand what we're all doing here, you know, school board members don't get paid. So that makes it even more restrictive on their using the ability or a computer or technology to communicate with them. And all our school districts are underfunded. And it's just, there's a lot going on, and I think HB3 is a terrible bill, but it's gonna pass.
When are they gonna vote on that?
It's ready for the governor's signature.
Oh, they've already voted? I didn't realize
I
that.
think they voted yet.
It's passed out of the House and it's went to the Senate sent it back for conference.
Okay.
And then that's, really, when you get to the conference committee during legislative times, that's where organizations like TAC are very important to you, because that language, it's a sausage-making machine. You can have a bill, they can substitute the entire bill in conference committee. And having your people down there watching it and monitoring it is essential for how it's gonna affect you back home. I would tend to think that you'd want more input instead of less.
I have an opinion, but it's probably not proper for me to address that to y'all, since I might be lobbying, so there we go. All right, thank y'all so much for coming today.
I'll plug this one for you, and this is a joke. At the purpose of the joke, COGS weren't restricted from lobbying.
Say that again?
We're a COG. We weren't restricted, in that bill, we were not restricted from lobbying efforts. Now, the reason that was is because they don't even know who we are. But, I mean, we
Wow.
represent cities and counties,
Wow.
and so,
Y'all just need to do an agreement with TAC and let them work under y'all.
that only worked for one session, because it wouldn't take them long to figure it out. But, I mean, yeah,
That's
they,
right.
they could for a session.
That's right, well, it will certainly,
I mean, that's, our function, we have an organization, TAC is the Texas Association of Counties, TML is for the cities, the Texas Municipal Association. We have what's called TARC, which is the Texas Association of Regional Councils, because every county in the United States is covered by a COG. And so everybody, there's 24 COGs in the state, but everybody in the nation is covered by a COG. So it is a great resource for you. And, a lot of times we're in the background, and my staff always call it, just wear the cloak of invisibility, do your job, get the resources out to the folks, and let them distribute it. And, we're here to serve you and serve your citizens.
maybe it'll be a while before they realize that. Huh, well, that's very interesting. It certainly gives me a little bit of hope that we'll at least have some.
Have some form of communication.
Have some form of communications.
Well, let's see, like during this pandemic, I mean, if you were, instead of the average citizen being able to go down there and testify for a committee, only invited people could come in and testify. Yeah, how you gonna hear the other side of the story if you only invite the people you wanna hear from?
There you go.
I mean, everybody's.
So
voice
each
is
county
important.
would have to hire a person and send to Austin when the legislation was
To
in
keep up with
session.
what's going
To
on.
keep up with what's going on and come back and tell us.
Yeah, and that's why y'all remember TAC, because
That's why you
instead of
remember
everybody
TAC.
hiring that one person, you've got, I think, 2 people at TAC
Yes.
that do it for the entire state. It's what we do, it's aggregated services that makes it more,
Right.
more affordable for everybody. And then quite honestly, for us sitting in this room, it's not hard for us to get in a car and be able to drive to Austin. But what if you're in El Paso, or you're in Beaumont, or you're in Texarkana? That's a big job to be able to run down there and see your representatives.
Well, it's hard enough for us. We don't want to have to go to Austin all the
It's
time.
a day trip for you, I mean, it's, probably take you 2.5 hours to get there.
He's not there when you get there.
Well, so I'm hoping then that we'll have you'll let us know how you're going to
We'll
handle
let you
it.
know how this, yeah.
Yes, okay, great, all right.
We work for y'all.
There you go, hallelujah. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Thank y'all so much for coming today, and we're gonna try to do what we can do to spread the word and encourage people to do it. Even to the point that we can put in the paper that if they need assistance, then they can come up here and we'll help them get signed up. Either in my office or your office, however you wanna do it.
And under the judge and Jeannie, that, y'all have my cell phone numbers, and like Tim said, y'all call us 24/7.
Use our veterans officer for that too. Our veterans officer, so to do it.
Yes, and he can help. Yes, he can help.
It's
Veterans officer.
gentlemen, it's a very good system. I mean,
Thank you, all right.
You need a motion on it?
Yes, we do.
I'll make it.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Let's take about a 5-minute break.
First. Time, let's go.